An overcrowded prison in the Philippines has burned, leaving 10 inmates dead.
The overcrowding is due to an anti-drug campaign by former President Duarte. During his 6 years in office, the police arrested more than 350,000 people for drug offenses alone, resulting in prisons in the Philippines bursting at the seams.
Some people thought the Vitaly situation couldn't get worse, but what came out during the last weeks is actually very concerning. Not for us, because we like to see him suffer, but for him it might get really brutal during the next years. Vitaly wanted to make a quick buck on harassing people in the Philippines and then dip back home, but that didn't really work out. He wasn't even allowed to talk during his first hearing, which kind of says a lot, and the comments from the president that we heard last week are not really looking too great for him.
Atin na matawanan lamang at hindi na palakihin ang mga ganitong klaseng pambabastos. Pero hindi nang huhulugan na palalampasin ito ng ating pamahalaan. Dapat tayo pumalag sa mga bully. Kasama nyo ang pamahalaan para ilugar ang mga ganitong tao. Sana ay magsilbing aral ito sa mga pagtatangkang.
So looking at all those comments we had the last weeks, his behavior during the trial, and all the other stuff that's happening at the moment, it looks like they really want to have him as an example for other foreigners to not do that shit in the Philippines. And fair play, if he gets really convicted to a multiple-year sentence, then we will definitely have less people like Johnny Somali running around in countries like South Korea and just abusing the niceness of the people. So let's take a look at the prison where Vitaly will have to stay for minimum a few years. We could see in a few videos from YouTubers from the Philippines that looked at possible prisons, and they all look kind of the same. There's no air conditioning, there's almost no food, there's a strict hierarchy with gangs, so even though he's a buff guy compared to the Filipinos, the prisons work on their own rules. So it's all about the power, and Vitaly doesn't have any power, nor does he have a great status coming into there. The lack of hygiene, the heat and the lack of food will especially be horrible for Vitaly, because he is on gear. I mean, it's not a big secret that this guy likes drugs in general, but looking at his physique it's pretty clear to see that he's using some gear. And getting off gear, if you didn't know, is a really horrible feeling. And to have this in the heat of a prison, without food, and the constant stress of people trying to take from you around you, if it doesn't send him into a psychosis, it will get him into a deep depression. And I think the smiles we saw in the first hearing, I don't think we will see much of them again. To give you a little insight, the prison makes meals on 70 pesos per person today. That's $1.25. So he's definitely gonna lose all of his gains, plus he will be severely malnutrition, because what they feed them is not gonna make you happy or bulk, it's just the bare minimum to survive. Also, the only connection he has to the outside is 1 or 2 phone calls to his family and his lawyer. There's no vlogging, there's no streaming, he can't even post, and they're making really sure that he can't do this, because obviously it's the offense that he's in there for. The prison sentence itself might not even be the worst of it all, because first of all he has to wait for the sentence, and this can take up to 5, 6, 10, maybe sometimes 20 years in the Philippines.
36-year-old Crisanto Niere has been here awaiting trial for 5 years.
They don't have a very good working system, and also they don't care to rush it. They want him to sit there and worry and stress. That's exactly their goal. What we also might see is some new tattoos on Vitaly. Because if he really want to survive there, he has to join some gang or alliance. And as in other prisons, you have to get tattoos for that. It will be a crazy lore to see. I think we are all happy that we don't have to see Vitaly in the future harassing people, but this prison arc might be very interesting to see what happens to him, which gang he joins, or what gang will claim him as their bitch. So let's recap all the odds. He will have overcrowded cells, plus 700 inmates in a single dorm cell. No air conditioning, no comfort, and a relentless heat. Surviving off 70 peso meals a day, so just enough to survive. No vlogging, no voice, total isolation from his audience. Years of waiting before he even sees the judge. A gang-controlled environment where tattoos mean everything. and a hostile neighborhood with eyes everywhere and everyone wanting to take advantage of him. It's not a secret that he has a lot of money and money rules in prisons, but I think the guards and also the inmates will make sure to drain him of this last single cent he has. Because it doesn't matter to them if they ask for 10,000, for 1,000, and Vitaly doesn't care to spend it. But maybe he will run out of money at one point, and then it will become very, very interesting how he will survive after this. So we will see if Vitaly can survive the harsh conditions, I would say even the brutal conditions in those prisons. Even compared to the US, I would say it's a very different environment that he will find himself in. So I would say the odds are really stacked against him, and it could be that we will never see Vitaly making it out of the prison in the Philippines. Who knows? I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave me a like if you did so. Check out my real life channel. I just uploaded a bunch of vlogs from South Africa. And yeah, see you next time.